G'day guys, this is Rob from Troutlore.com.au, Australia's fly tying specialist store. Today we're tying a new little carp fly that's been getting me some great results recently in the lakes. I call it the Carpstacean. It's a little crustacean style fly pattern designed for carp. We're into our third, maybe fourth version of it now, changing up materials and wings until we found something that works. This latest one replaces the brass dumbbells in the eyes for bead chain, makes it a little lighter, a little more flashier, and seems to be doing the job. So let's get started. We are coming in with a Goulburn steel 9037 carp curved hook. And then to that we're starting off with some UTC Ultra Thread 140 Denier in the red. We're just going to start behind the hook eye, capturing that, then we'll raise our thread up and start wrapping onto it as it sits at a 45-degree angle, which will force the thread wraps in against each other, and we'll make touching wraps down the hook shank till we get to the start of the bend. There, we'll just trim off that excess and a couple more wraps to cover the tag, and then we'll bring our thread in fairly open wraps back up to just behind the eye of the hook. For the weight on this fly, we're using gold bead chain. These are about the 4mm or 5/32 of an inch size. It's fairly easy to work with. Take your snips and bead chain, and we just want to force them up hard against one of those balls and cut, and then that way it gives us a nice clean edge without any of the posts sticking out. Then we're going to take our thread and wrap twice around the bead chain itself, like so. Then we can start wrapping onto the hook shank. This will ensure that it's going to lock in nicely and find a good seating position, like so. Once that's done, we can then start figure of 8 wrapping to lock that into position and just make sure that it's sitting straight on all the planes. Once we've done that, some additional wraps in just to lock that in place, and then we'll take a little bit of zapper gap. We'll just place some of that on the thread like so, and then do a few more wraps with that thread that is coated in the zapper gap over those thread wraps, and then that'll bind in and lock that bead chain in place. That's not going anywhere now. We'll bring our thread back a couple of wraps beyond where the bead chain sits, and now it's time to tie in the tail. For the tail or the tag of this, we're using orange Congo hair. We're going to take a piece of it like so, and then we'll just twist that up and measure it so it's about half the thickness of the bead chain. So that way, if you're doing this in a smaller size and you're downsizing the hook, downsizing the bead chain, it gives you an idea of where you need to go for how much material you want to put into the tail. And we'll just trim that off to a nice sharp edge, and just behind the bead, capture it like so, dragging it back as we get those end fibers, and then we'll bind down fairly firmly, keeping tension here on those fibers as we go. We want to come down into the bend of the hook a bit of a way so that it's pushing those fibres down, then when this fly sits inverted, they will be pushed up. That's better, like so. And then we'll finish with our thread just behind the hook point. We'll come back and trim that a little bit later on. The next two steps to the body are the dubbing and the legs. We're going to do half the dubbing followed by the legs, then the other half the dubbing. So we're coming in with Chuck and Duck electric seal in the burnt orange. We are going to wax up that thread. Makes it nice and easy to work with. Take a small amount of this dubbing and start building a fairly fine noodle on that thread. I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's easier to add dubbing than it is to take it away, so start with less and keep building as we go. And we're going to wrap back down into that tag. Once we've hit that, we'll come forward again. Just trim out any of those stragglers. I'll put a little bit more on there just to bring it a bit further into the body. Like so. Just get ourselves up into the flat section of the hook shank. Now we'll tie in the legs. For this we're using Veniard Centipede legs in the yellow and black speckled. So we're going to take one of these legs, capture it on the near side at about the halfway point in the leg itself, and get a couple of wraps in like so. Then we will do the same on the far side, getting a couple of wraps around it. Now we need to just orient those legs so that they're sitting around the center of the hook shank, pull them back and do some tighter wraps to lock them in place, wrapping back towards the bend. Once that's done, we'll wrap forward into the two front legs. We'll just hang them over the dumbbell like so that they're centralized, and then a couple of loose wraps to lock them in place, and then go tight up, and then we can fold back on those ever so slightly so that they kick back. Here's the first one, and then fold back on the one on the far side ever so slightly, then pull all of them back and just do a few binding wraps to hold those ends in place. Now it's back in with the dubbing. Good amount of wax on that. We're going to do a nice fine noodle here to work in between the legs. So we want to keep that fairly fine on the thread. We don't want to bulk it up too much in there. And then fold the front legs forward and get that dubbing in between the legs there as we work around. What we'll do is actually grab both those front legs, pull them forward, and then get a couple of wraps of dubbing in there. Like so. Then we'll allow them to fold back and get a couple of wraps in front of those legs. Once that's done, we'll continue dubbing our way up the body until we get up behind the eyes. So again, just keeping it a nice fine dubbing noodle. You don't want to bulk it up too much too quickly. You want to have some control over the shape. Bringing it up to the eyes, and then Add some more dubbing wax and a little more dubbing to our thread there. That's given us a fairly even shape up the body. And we're just going to work a little over the eyes, just the tiniest bit in front of the eyes. We don't want to bulk that up too much though. We still have the wing to tie in, and we need space to finish this fly off. We just want to fill in the gap there between the eyes with a couple of wraps, and then work back. Create a bit of a taper from those legs forward into where the eyes are. So one more dubbing noodle, again keeping it fairly tight, and wrapping right up into where those eyes are. Right, at this stage we need to tie in the wing, so before we do it we'll just do a bit of a trimming out just to clean off some of those fibres, and then we'll pop a half hitch in just around the hook shank there so the thread doesn't come untangled, and we are going to take our hook out of the vise and reinsert it with the hook point up. Once we've done that, get a couple of wraps of our thread in place, and we're just going to trim out some of those loose fibres in the hook gape, and then make sure those legs are angled down. Now it's time to tie in the wing. For that we are using Possum Tail in the natural brown. We're just going to take a nice little clump from our possum tail, snip that off fairly close to the hide, and then align those fibres, preening out all that fluffy stuff. And there you can see that's our wing, which we want to sit just up past the rear of the hook bend, but we're going to fold it back on itself. So if we place it in position like that, swap to our other hand, and then trim it out about 5 mils past where we want the tying point to be. Then flipping it back into our right hand, we'll take those stubs and do one loose wrap just behind the hook eye there to capture that in place, and another wrap. Then we can have a look on top, make sure that's aligned centrally before we bind down on that, and a figure of 8 across those eyes 2 times. Just trim out those stubs. Now all we need to do is fold that wing back, and with our thread behind the eyes, lock that in place, and then get a series of figure 8 wraps over the eyes and finish up with a bunch of wraps just behind the hook eye. Once that's done, we need to locate our whip finisher somewhere on the bench, and then we can whip finish just behind the eyes here. A couple of 2 or 3 turn whip finishes. Trim out that thread, and then little touch of Upavon UV clear resin. We're just going to use this to build up the head behind the eyes, on top and bottom, applying it with our bodkin we'll just fill that space up in between the bead chain so that any material on there doesn't get pulled apart as it's dragged along the bottom. Fill in the sides there. Work that into all the thread. And then with our UV torch, on she goes. Hit that on all angles. So that's nice and cured and not going anywhere. Now it's just a case of trimming this out. So we're going to return our fly to the other orientation, pull our tail out, and at about a shank length, trim that off clean. Then our legs on both sides to about the length of the tail as well. Trim that out. Pull them back, not stretching them at all, just pulling them back to align with the tail. Then you just give those legs a bit of a play to make sure they're sitting right. And if we can get it to... And then once we put our vise and camera back into place after knocking the camera over, we can just rest that up on top of the vise so you can see how it's going to sit in the water. Designed to sit on the bottom with the hook point up, the wing sits up, that tag sits up, the legs drag along and turn up some of the mud. Great little pattern. Gets down fast but doesn't cause too much of a splash thanks to those bead chain eyes, and most of all it's catching fish. That one's coming out with me tomorrow and we'll put it to good use. In the meantime, all the materials for this fly are available from the Troutlore Fly Tying Store website. The materials list is down there in the description as usual. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel so you get notified when we have new videos, and as always, happy tying.